Did you know that more than 60% of major engine and transmission failures happen right after 100,000 miles? And here's the scary part. Most of those failures could have been prevented if car owners knew the same maintenance secrets mechanics do behind closed doors. I'm not talking about oil changes or tire rotations. I'm talking about the hidden steps mechanics perform quietly at 100,000 miles. The ones they don't list on your invoice. The ones they hope you never find out because it keeps you coming back for expensive repairs. Today I'm pulling back the curtain. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to do at 100,000 miles to make your car last another 100,000. Or even push it to 300,000 miles. And trust me, once you hear tip number 7, you'll never look at your mechanic the same way again. Secret number 1. The hidden timing belt / chain inspection. Your timing belt, or chain, is the unsung hero of your engine. It keeps the pistons and valves moving in perfect sync. If your car has a timing belt, it typically needs replacement around 90,000 to 105,000 miles. Ignore this, and if it snaps, your engine could suffer catastrophic damage. Bent valves, destroyed pistons, even total engine failure. That's a $4,000 plus mistake. If you have a timing chain, mechanics know it doesn't last forever either. At 100,000 miles, they quietly inspect it for stretching or noise. A worn chain can throw off your engine's timing, reduce power, and eventually snap just like a belt. Mechanics rarely advertise this because the replacement job is lucrative. But if you ask at 100K, they'll usually recommend it strongly. Take that seriously. It's one of the most critical 100,000 services. Secret number 2. Transmission fluid exchange, not just a check. Most owners' manuals call transmission fluid lifetime. But here's the insider truth. Lifetime means until the warranty ends, not the life of your car. At 100,000 miles, mechanics quietly flush or replace transmission fluid, even if they never write it on your invoice. Why? Because dirty fluid is the #1 killer of automatic transmissions. Fresh fluid restores lubrication, cools internal parts, and prevents the clutches from burning out. Skip it, and you could be staring at a $3,500 to $5,000 transmission rebuild. Pro tip: insist on a full fluid exchange, not just a drain and fill. That way, nearly all the old fluid and debris gets replaced. Secret number 3. Spark plugs and ignition coils, the quiet refresh. Here's something mechanics do almost automatically at 100,000 miles. They check your spark plugs and ignition coils. Spark plugs may look small, but they're responsible for igniting the fuel-air mixture thousands of times a minute. After 100,000, even high-quality iridium plugs wear down. Worn plugs strain your ignition coils, which can lead to misfires, poor fuel economy, and catalytic converter damage. Mechanics know that a fresh set of plugs, and sometimes coils, restores lost power, smooths idle, and protects your engine. But they won't always tell you because many drivers balk at the cost. Don't skip it. Secret number 4. Cooling system overhaul. Engines don't die from mileage, they die from heat. That's why mechanics quietly give the cooling system extra attention at 100,000. They'll check the water pump, which often starts failing around this mileage. They'll inspect radiator hoses for softness or cracks. And they'll flush the coolant to restore anti-corrosion protection. A water pump failure can leave you stranded and cook your engine in minutes. That's a $700 to $1,500 repair versus a $200 preventive fix. Secret number 5. Suspension and bushings. By 100,000 miles, your car's suspension isn't as tight as it used to be. Mechanics know that worn shocks, struts, and bushings don't just affect comfort. They can damage tires, steering, and even alignment. At this milestone, many shops will quietly check. Control arm bushings, common wear point, ball joints, tie rods, shocks / struts. If you've noticed clunks, uneven tire wear, or vague steering, chances are something here is wearing out. Replace them now, and your car will feel brand new again. Secret number 6. Hidden PCV valve check. Here's a sneaky one, the PCV valve. Mechanics know that by 100,000, many cars have a clogged or stuck positive crankcase ventilation valve. When this valve fails, pressure builds in your engine, forcing oil past seals and gaskets. That's how you end up with oil leaks, sludge, and even blown seals. The crazy part? A new PCV valve costs $15 to $30, but mechanics often fix the leak instead, charging hundreds. While the root cause was this little valve. Ask about it at $100K. Secret number 7. Differential and transfer case fluids. If you drive AWD or 4WD, mechanics know something you probably don't. Your differential and transfer case fluids are likely overdue. These fluids lubricate gears that handle enormous stress. At 100,000, many are black, contaminated, and losing effectiveness. Left untouched, you risk bearing wear or gear damage, which can mean a $1,500 to $3,000 repair. Mechanics often change these fluids quietly, without much explanation, because most drivers wouldn't understand or approve the cost. But this is one of the biggest secrets to making an AWD or 4WD last long term. Secret number 8. The hidden fuel system refresh. By the time your car hits 100,000 miles, your fuel system has been through millions of combustion cycles. Mechanics know that injectors, pumps, and filters are no longer running at peak efficiency. Here's what they do behind the scenes. Run a professional fuel injector cleaning service, the kind that connects directly to the fuel rail. This restores spray patterns and fuel atomization, boosting both power and fuel economy. Replace the fuel filter if your car has one that's serviceable. Many modern cars hide them inside the tank, but when accessible, mechanics know it's critical to change them around 100,000. Ignoring this step leads to clogged injectors, lean misfires, and even fuel pump failure, which can cost $900 to $1,400. Secret number 9. Oxygen sensor and emissions components. Most oxygen sensors last 80,000 to 120,000 miles. By 100,000, they're getting sluggish, even if they don't throw a code yet. Mechanics sometimes replace them proactively at this milestone because worn sensors quietly hurt fuel economy by as much as 15%. That's hundreds of dollars wasted at the pump every year. Plus, a lazy O2 sensor stresses the catalytic converter, which is one of the most expensive emissions components in your car. Protect it now, or you may face a $1,200 to $2,500 replacement. Secret number 10. Battery and charging system audit. Most car batteries last 3 to 5 years, and alternators average around 100,000 to 150,000 miles before failure. Mechanics know this, so at 100,000, they'll often test your entire charging system, quietly, without even telling you. Why? Because weak batteries and alternators don't just leave you stranded. They create inconsistent voltage that damages sensitive electronics, from your ECU to transmission solenoids. A $25 diagnostic check here can save you thousands later. Secret number 11. Brake system beyond pads and rotors. Sure, everyone checks brake pads and rotors, but what most drivers don't realize is that by 100,000 miles, mechanics are looking at brake fluid, which absorbs moisture over time. At 100,000, it's often dirty, corrosive, and boiling at a lower temperature. A flush is essential. Brake hoses. Rubber can crack internally, restricting fluid flow and making brakes feel spongy. Caliper pins. These need cleaning and lubrication, or uneven wear will destroy pads prematurely. Skip this deeper brake service, and you'll think your car just feels old, when in reality, a proper refresh makes it stop like new. Secret number 12. Cabin air quality and HVAC service. Here's one mechanics never tell you. At 100,000, many cars' HVAC systems are struggling because of clogged cabin air filters, dirty evaporators, and weak blower motors. Why does this matter? Because restricted airflow makes your AC compressor and blower motor overwork, leading to premature failure. That's $600 to $1,000 for a compressor replacement. Mechanics quietly replace the cabin air filter, clean out ducts, and sometimes spray disinfectant to clear mold or debris. It makes your car smell new, improves airflow, and protects the system long term. Secret number 13. Alignment and tire health. At 100,000, it's not just about rotating tires. Mechanics know that worn suspension parts and years of potholes throw alignment way out of spec. They'll often do a quiet 4-wheel alignment check. Why? Because poor alignment destroys tires prematurely and adds stress to steering components. A proper alignment can add thousands of miles of life to your tires, saving you $600 to $1,200 on a new set. Secret number 14. Software updates and ECU reflashes. Here's something most car owners never think about. Your car is basically a rolling computer. Manufacturers regularly release software updates that fix fuel mapping, transmission logic, and even safety system glitches. Mechanics often check for these updates at 100K. They won't always tell you because it's not a hard part repair, but the difference can be night and day. A simple reflash can smooth rough shifts, boost MPG, and prevent stalling issues. It's free at the dealership, but only if you ask. Secret number 15. The hidden belt and pulley replacement. At 100,000, mechanics know your serpentine belt and pulleys are living on borrowed time. Cracks, glazing, or stretched belts can leave you stranded if they snap. What they do, replace the serpentine belt proactively. Inspect tensioners and idler pulleys. Check the alternator pulley for free play. These aren't glamorous parts, but when they fail, your power steering, AC, and charging systems stop instantly. A $60 belt and $100 tensioner prevent a $1,000 tow and repair nightmare. Psychological engagement, the wake-up call. So let me ask you, which one of these did you honestly have no idea about? Was it the timing chain inspection, the hidden PCV valve, or maybe the software updates? Drop it in the comments below, because here's the truth. The more of these you do at 100,000, the less money your mechanic makes off you later. That's why they rarely spell it out. But now you have the knowledge they've been keeping to themselves. Think about it. You're standing at the 100,000 mile marker. Most people either neglect their car and watch it die slowly, or they hand mechanics blank checks for preventable breakdowns. But you now know the exact roadmap to push your car far beyond 200,000 miles, maybe even into the 300,000 to 400,000 range. And you'll do it while saving thousands in repairs. Remember this, engines don't die from miles, they die from neglect. Treat your car like a long-term investment and it will pay you back mile after mile. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these 15 secrets shocked you the most? And which one will you actually do this month? Comment below, because your answer could save another driver thousands. And if you thought these were powerful, wait until you see my next video. 10 secrets to make your car last 1 million miles. That one takes car longevity to an entirely different level.